Hello everyone, welcome back to Angela's Craft Room. Today I've got another card for you from one of the Saleabrations stamp sets called Epic Celebrations. I did do one before using the sneakers, the shoes. So this time I'm using the guitar and the headphones. So the one we're going to do today, we're still going to be using the guitar and the headphones and show you how I did this background behind the guitar, but we're just going to be doing it a little bit differently, different colors, and instead of having DSP I'm going to use a piece of embossing folder, a piece of cardstock embossed. So to start with, I'm going to have a piece of Night of Navy which measures 11 inches long by 4 1/8 of an inch wide and scored at 5.5 inches. Then inside I've already put my piece of Whisper White which measures 5 1/4 and by 3 7/8 of an inch, and I've just stamped it with this image, which is how I did this round here, this image here. And that is from the stamp set, also a Celebration stamp set, Amazing You. So that's this image here I'm going to be using. And just so you know, this is the Epic Celebrations stamp set. So we did the sneakers the other day, and today we're going to do the guitar and the headphones. Okay, so we can set that. Actually, we'll adhere my embossed piece onto the Night of Navy. Now that's old olive cardstock, and I've embossed it in with the embossing folder Brick Wall. So I'm just going to glue that on first. And this isn't a hard card. Quite a simple card. It's just a couple of tricks to it. Let's make sure I've got that the right way. And we're just going to pop that nice and centered, and that's going to be the front of my card. So I'm just going to put that aside, and I've already pre-colored these just to save some time, just with my Stampin' Up blends. Alcohol markers, I just love them, but it did take me a few minutes to do the blending on the guitar and that, so I thought I'd save a little bit of time. Now, because I want to hang the headphones onto the guitar, I need to cut out this inner space here. So the easiest way I found is I get my 1/2 inch circle punch, and I just punch that out like that, which takes out most of it, and then I get my sharp scissors and I just cut out the rest. But I just feel by using that 1/2 inch punch, it saves you a lot of cutting out. If you just use the tip of your scissors and make sure that they're really sharp ones. I'm sorry if I've gone off. So I'm just cutting that piece out. But as I was saying, just by putting that, just punching that 1/2 inch out first, it takes out 3/4 and you only have to cut out the rest of it. I know some of you don't like to fussy cut, and that's up to you. You don't have to. I just think it adds a bit more, makes the images sit off your card a little bit more, makes them pop. Okay, so then just grab a scrap piece of paper and my pumpkin pie, because where I've cut that out, just so it doesn't show any white. Just on the inside there. So that's all you need to do there. Bit of that. Now what I'm going to do now is, and you'll see why I'm doing it, I'm going to do, actually to start with, we need to just sponge this piece with Daffodil Delight. With just my sponge brayer. And it's just very lightly. And why I didn't want to do the pencil mark first was because we want to rub it out and it would have ended up underneath the yellow colour here and it wouldn't have rubbed out. I always feel there's not much ink on the brayer, but once you start using it you can see that there is quite a fair bit. Do. Doesn't have to be perfect. So then we'll be able to go ahead and draw our pencil line like I went to before. So what I'm going to do is just go from corner to corner, and you'll see why I'm doing this. Just a light pencil mark. Now I'm going to grab this stamp from Amazing You. And you'll see that it's got a little notch there. What I want to do is I'm going to just place it on there, and just so put it there so that when I'm doing it on this side, hopefully it will line up. Okay, so then I'm going to bring in my Misty tool. And I'm going to pop that down there. Might actually have to bring it up a bit because I'm not going to be able to put my magnet. Just mark about where that little notch is. So I'm just going to put that on the line there. Down, and then I'm going to stamp that up in Melon Mambo. So that's one side. And then just stamp that up. It just had a little bit of ink still on it, but not quite enough. So that's how we do that. Just put my Melon Mambo away. Don't need that anymore, I don't think. Then what we're going to do is grab our rubber and just lightly rub out those pencil marks. It's just then you can line it up both sides. The first one I didn't do the pencil mark, but I was able to cover it up with the guitar because both of these weren't central to each other. So I thought I need to draw a pencil mark just to give me a bit of a guide, and that's why they're mirroring each other. Now what I'm going to do is then the guitar's going to go so I'm going to have the square sort of on a bit of a angle, and then that's going to get glued down like that, and then this goes over like that, and then we're going to put a couple of dimensionals underneath there. So when you're putting your glue, you need to already have that. Actually, I don't know, I'll put the glue on the and this is just on the thick Whisper White that I've used the Stampin' Up blends. I have used it on watercolour paper as well, not the Stampin' Up one, but Bristol smooth I've used it on. And then I'm just going to glue, sort of lift, I'm not going to press down the top yet. So let the bottom sit there. Then I'm just going to grab a couple of dimensionals and pop them on the bottom of the headphones. And then I might just put a little bit of glue at the top there, just a very little bit. And I'm going to slide that carefully on there. And then I can press the rest of that down. And just remember, I've got dimensionals just under the bottom here, so that helps it sit up and gives it that sort of 3D look. Okay, so now I was going to put it on straight, but I've decided I'm going to put the sentiment up here. So actually I might put it square on. Put it like that. I do like it a lot better with the embossing folder, the embossed cardstock in the background rather than the DSP. So then all we need to do is put some glue on the back of here. Now this is just a piece of Whisper White cut out with the stitch shape framelits, and that's what I cut the big square out with those as well. So that's the stitch shape framelits. So just going to put a bit of glue on there. And pop that down there. Like that, and then I just stamped on a piece of Whisper White my sentiment, and I adhered that onto a piece of Night of Navy with some stamping dimensionals, and then I've also put stamping dimensionals on the back of the Night of Navy as well. Just take that off. So you can see it's not a hard card to make. But it just goes to show you can use different elements from other cards, from other stamp sets. I'm not having a good day. I'm getting tongue-tied. So that's that one. So that was this is the first one I did. the one with the background being DSP, and this is the background being brick wall embossing folder, and I like this one a lot better. But I hope that you'll give those a try if you've been lucky enough to get that stamp set. It is a great mail stamp set, so I do like it. And until next time, happy crafting.